Hello, welcome back to Learn Economia. Here we will study the vicious circle of poverty. The principle of vicious circle of poverty is mainly applicable to underdeveloped economies. And we know that the level of income in underdeveloped economies is very low compared to what we have in the case of developing economies. As a result, in the case of saving and investment in underdeveloped economies are very low. Okay. So, in underdeveloped economies, we could see that a low level of investment leads to low productivity, which again would lead to low level of income. According to Knox, which was the person who had put forward the concept of vicious circle of poverty, this concept implies a circular constellation of forces tending to act and react upon one another in such a way as to keep the poor economy in a state of poverty. This means that, and this is there is the one situation of backwardness in economy would lead to another situation of backwardness, and this will act as a circular movement, and this will act as a circular forces acting and reacting upon each other or one another, which would make the economy fall in the clutches of poverty forever. So this is known as a vicious circle of poverty. And in order to make the concept much more clear, what Knox has done is that he has given an example. He has given an example of a poor man. He says that a poor man do not get enough food, which makes him very weak. Okay. As a result of weakness, his efficiency reduces, and as a consequence, he will get only low income, and thus he becomes poor. This means that first of all, you have to imagine about a man who is very weak in the sense that he has poor health, very poor and weak health, and as a result, he cannot do any tedious kind of work, any physical effort needed work. As a result, he will be indulged in some kind of works which is of very simple nature, and that doesn't require that much effort at all. So as a result, he would be getting a very low income, and since he is getting only very low income, he will become poor forever. So this is a very simple example Nurse has given us in order to make us understand the concept of vicious circle of poverty. So he has cited mainly three different causes of vicious circle of poverty. The same thing, vicious circle of poverty, when we look from diverse angles, we will be getting different explanations leading to the same problem of vicious circle of poverty. So the first cause is with respect to a supply perspective, that is we are looking we are looking at the concept of vicious circle of poverty from a supply perspective. Then we are using a demand perspective, and also then thirdly we are using a market imperfection perspective. Okay, so coming into the supply side of vicious circle, we could see that vicious circle indicates that in underdeveloped economies productivity is very low, and as a result productivity is low, that is not enough for enough capital formation in the economy. So according to Samuelson, another economist, the backward nations cannot get their heads above water, mainly because their production is very less. So as a result, they cannot spare anything for capital formation. So as a result, their standard of living would be very less. Okay, in the words of Knox, the person who has introduced the concept of vicious circle of poverty, he says that on the supply side there is a small capacity to save, which results from low level of national income. When your income is less, your tendency to save is very less. So this low level of income is actually a reflection of low productivity, and this will in turn will lead to low level of capital. And lack of capital is actually a result of small capacity to save, and so this will act as a circle. That is the first. Just start with the case of low income. Low income means that you are saving only less. So when you are saving less, you won't be able to go for high level of investment. Your investment too will be very low, and as a result, since your investment is low, you cannot increase your production beyond a particular level. So your production will remain very low, and when your production is low, that means that you will be getting very less revenue. That means that your income is low. So this is a circular movement, or this will act as a cycle. Okay, now coming to the demand side of vicious circle, as per Professor Nurse, on the demand side, the inducement to invest may be very low. This is mainly because of the small purchasing power of the people, and this is mainly due to the small share of income which they have, which is again due to the low productivity in the economy. So the level of productivity is something that is the result of small amount of capital used in the production, which in turn may cause, which in turn may be cause by small investment to invest. That's starting with the low income. Here there is low demand. As a result of low demand, there would be low investment, and as a result there will be low productivity, and which will again lead to low income. So here also we could see a cycle or circular movement of different forces. Now moving to the third cause, that is market imperfections. Here they are having many economists like Baldwin and all. They have described a third vicious circle based on the capital deficiency due to market imperfections. They say that in underdeveloped economies, resources are underdeveloped and people are economically backward. Okay, so existence of market imperfections actually prevents the optimum allocation of resources, and also since the allocation of resources is not optimum, we cannot utilize the resources to the fullest. So as a result, the underdevelopment and would happen, and this will lead to backwardness again. The development of natural resources will depend on the character of human resources. If the natural resources are not developed, means human resources are not that much equipped. But we know that due to lack of skill, knowledge, etc. and all, natural resources will remain unutilized and underutilized and misutilized. Vicious circle of poverty as a result of different kinds of vicious circle, whether it is in terms of supply perspective or in terms of demand perspective or in terms of market imperfections, is something that is very much important, especially when you are dealing with an underdeveloped economy. So as a result, we can see that capital formation would remain very low, and very low level of income would be there in the underdeveloped economy. So as a result, we could see that the country which is caught in the vicious circle of poverty would be suffered from diverse problems, and it is very difficult to break the vicious circle. So even though we say that it is very difficult to break the vicious circle, there have been many solutions suggested by different economists. So let's understand two of these solutions. First one is solution to the supply side, and the other one is solution to the demand side. Now coming to the supply side solutions, we can see that one of the important step is to increase your savings. So if you increase your saving, that will definitely increase your investment. So let's see how it is helping, how increase in saving and investment is helping to break the supply side of vicious circle. Here, if you are dealing with the increase in supply side, that means that in those countries which suffer from the problem of vicious circle of poverty, efforts should be made to increase the savings, so that investment will automatically increase, right? So to increase saving, what we have to do is that we have to increase increase our expenditure. And if your income is increased, then your expenditure would be increased, right? So in underdeveloped economies and all, the possibility of voluntary saving is very less. That is obvious. And as a result, government has to interfere. Government should interfere in the market. The government can increase the saving by altering its fiscal policy. So the government can impose heavy taxes on luxury goods and all. So in that sense, government can collect taxes, and it can increase the role of direct taxes as well. Thus, the government can curtail consumption by doing alterations in the tax system. So here there can be increasing investment as well. For example, if you increase your saving, it will automatically increase your investment, and the government can go for policies of short run or long run in order to promote investment. Okay. So if you are going for short term period investment, people can get necessary good at fair rates, which will have favorable impact on the skill learner. Moreover, along with the short term investment in the establishment of multi-purpose projects can also be encouraged. And in underdeveloped economies, proper monetary and banking facilities and policies should be adopted, so that these would provide facilities and encouragement to small savings. Now, we can also see that there have been many explanations which will act as solution to the demand side aspect of vicious circle of poverty. Here it is said that in UDCs and all, in order to solve the problem of demand side of vicious circle, market should be widened so that people will be encouraged to invest in the market. And so as per Knox, what he has advocated is that we have to go for balanced growth approach rather than unbalanced growth approach. This is mainly because according to Knox, investment should be done in every sphere of the economy so that the demand in one sector can be fulfilled by demand by another sector. So if you are demanding for one good, and if the sector from which you are demanding the good is not able to produce the good you are demanding, that means that some other sector will be helping you. That's it. So an increase in demand will lead to a wider market, or that will help to widen your market so that the inducement to invest would also be high. On the other hand, we could see that there have been certain economists like Frischman, Singer, Fleming and all, they are actually not supporting the policy of balanced growth, but on the other hand, they are supporting the policy of unbalanced growth. They are saying that balanced growth is not a easy strategy, especially underdeveloped economies are concerned, and because there is no possibility to go for a balanced growth approach because these economies are not having enough money with them. Okay, and the majority of the economies are actually they are going for planned development, and in order to make investment in different sectors, that is not feasible for these economies. Okay, so due to increase in monetary income, size of the market can be widened. Okay, these countries can widen the size of the foreign market as well by increasing their exports. Now coming to another solution to vicious circle of poverty, there have been many suggestions in underdeveloped economies, and all the main obstacle to economic growth is backwardness of human power. So the main suggestion is to increase the skill of manpower. You can give them training, you can give them skill development by making them participate in skill development programs, etc. For instance, we could see that in several countries, education, technical knowledge, administrative training, etc. are encouraged, and in these countries health facilities can also be enhanced. This will increase the efficiency of the workers, and also transportation and communication systems can be developed. As every other theory, this vicious circle of poverty theory is not free from criticism. The theory has been criticized from diverse angles. It has been said that the doctrine of vicious circle in UDCs is an easy explanation of nature, but there have been many other reasons to vicious circle of poverty. The experience of Latin American countries have proved that underdeveloped countries can also develop, and the case of vicious circle, we can see that in this case it is neglecting many important sectors and many important segments of the economy, like entrepreneurs, political, social and religious atmosphere, etc. And the principle of vicious circle is not explaining the important determinants of economic development. That is another criticism that has been used by several people to criticize the concept of vicious circle of poverty. So that's all. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe this channel for more videos.